All right, book fact time. Now, this is from the 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. And now, Grant Cardone, I'm sure he's inspired many people from all over the world. And one of the biggest truths that he keeps mentioning throughout each one of his books, whether it's the 10x Rule, sell or be sold, be first or be last, be obsessed or be average, is it's all about action. It doesn't so much matter exactly if it's the perfect action, you've tried it, you've made sure it's exactly right. Just as an example, one of the truths that he mentions in his book, The 10X Rule, is when he wrote the first copy, it was riddled full of mistakes, full of grammatical errors, full of them, absolutely. And he goes on to mention at one point, where he was getting phone calls from these people, and he'd pick up the phone, and this person would tell him that, hey, your book, it's full of spelling mistakes, it's full of errors, it's full of, you need to fix it. And he goes on to reply to this person by saying that, son, this book isn't a best written book, but it's a best selling book. And that's exactly what it was. Like, even at that stage, when it was full of all of that, it was still a best selling book. And many people won't take that first step to do something like, let's say write a book or whatever, because they're so worried with all of these little parts around it and not looking at the big picture, the end goal that's in mind. So one of the big things or big takeaways that I've picked up from the 10X Rule is there's 4 different levels of action, and most people are not working at that 4th degree of action, or that 4th degree of what he states to be massive action, if I'm to copy up verbatim from what he says in the book, is because most people don't believe that that's like, it's not necessary. It's like, I have the perfect product, the perfect service, people are going to come to me, but they're not putting it out there. They're not putting it out there enough. Like, how many emails did you send that were never replied to? How many businesses did you call that never called you back or said, absolutely not, we don't want you to, we don't need that, we don't need to see you? How many times did you call them back? Because by, as Grant goes on to say in the book, by them at least even saying that, we are not interested, it is still a level of interest to some degree. But how do you go from that level of interest being, oh no, we are not interested, to, oh no, maybe, going from not interested to maybe, then that increases that level of interest. It's like, how willing are you to be able to act and do more than what you previously believed was right? And so by the 10X Rule, it's like starting to be able to create those actions by setting your goals to be at least 10 times larger than what they already were. So this would mean even if you don't hit that goal that's at 10 times what it currently is, you're still going to be better off than if you kept your goal at the one position that it's in here at the moment. So by setting that higher, even if you don't achieve that, you're still better off than what you could have been by not setting it to those possible levels. And then with setting the goal, another important part, I'm going on with 2 book facts now, because it's going to make the video take longer, but the book fact number 2 from the 10X Rule was about also not setting a lazy goal. A goal, if it's a number, if it's, the amount of money that you want to make or whatever it is, that if that number ends in a 0, it is a lazy goal. It is a lazy goal because you haven't spent the time planning it out and, writing it down and figuring out, okay, if I need to get a loan to get this house or whatever it is, I didn't spend that time to actually work out exactly what I need. So, getting clear and doing the math, sitting down and doing those numbers for yourself so that goal is the right kind of goal. So that's my book facts now, 2 of them, from the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone.